Hey guys, my name is Lexi and I'm here to talk to you about sex, baby. Today we're going to be talking about how to have a good sexual experience. Kind of a tall order, but basically I'm just going to be talking about a few things that you can think about beforehand just to help you prepare, to make sure you know where your head's at, and to make sure that you are having the best time possible and the most fun possible in the most responsible way possible. That's kind of the idea behind it. So I'm going to be taking you through three things, things you can think about, things you can do, and things you can say, just to help you get in the zone and communicate anything that needs to be communicated, either to yourself or to your partners. Yeah, let's get going. I mean, this video is made with the assumption that maybe there's a partner or partners involved, but I think these questions are equally as important to ask when you're on your own having a sexual experience. I think it's important to just think about these things in general, is basically what I'm trying to say. All right, guys, so let's get into things to think about. Basically, I just want you to get in touch with yourself so that you know exactly what you're doing when you get into the situation, and things to think about. It's just a couple of questions to help you figure that out. Firstly, I want you to think about what you want out of the situation. What are you there for? What do you need out of it? What do you want out of it? Why are you doing this? Next up, I want you to think about whether or not your partner is fulfilling any needs for you and whether or not they signed up for that. It's always important to make sure that everybody knows exactly what they're getting into. I don't think there's anything wrong with using people to fulfill a certain need, as long as they know what they're doing, as long as everybody knows exactly what's going on. Next up, I want you to think about what am I insecure about and how can I support myself in this situation through those insecurities. Everybody's insecure about something. And honestly, you know, sex is super intimate. You're probably naked and it's scary. And we are likely to be insecure about things. So just make sure that you're being kind to yourself and you're being aware of those things which might make you less comfortable in that situation. Next up, I want you to think about whether or not there's anything you need your partner to know beforehand, whether that might be limits or, you know, something that you usually do that you're not so keen on doing today. Just, I don't know, maybe your body is reacting a little bit differently and you need them to know that. Next up, I want you to think about what's going to make this sexy and fun for me, and is there anything new that I want to try? You know you saw something fun on the internet and you're interested in it. I know you did. Okay, next up, I want you to think about what do I need to happen afterwards. The concept of aftercare kind of originated in the BDSM community, but it's so important to think about all the time. Both immediately afterwards in terms of things like cuddles, and maybe in more extended, like in terms of ongoing conversations. I had a lover who I would have the most wonderful, intense time with, and then I wouldn't hear from him for a couple of days afterwards, and it made me feel hectic. So now I know that that's something that I can't do. Okay, and then lastly, I want you to think about what are the possible consequences of this action. Sex has a whole bunch of different range of consequences. You know, STDs or STIs, that's one that's possible for all of us. And then there's a whole bunch of things that can only happen to some of us. If you can get pregnant, if you menstruate, you need to know where you are in your cycle and what the risks that come with that are. I mean, depending on who you're having sex with, obviously. But just assess the situation, understand what the consequences are, and make sure that you're fully prepared for that. Okay guys, enough thinking. Next up, we have things to do. This is where it gets a little bit more exciting because there's a bit more action involved. This is my personal favorite part because this is where all of the anticipation and the sexiness and the foreplay comes in. And I just think that is so much fun, personally. First and foremost, I like to plan my look. I like to dress for sex. I want to show up a certain way. I like to be admired. So for me, the kind of planning my look stage is a big fun part of it for me. I would also use this maybe to deal with any insecurities that you may have. For example, highlight all of your fave parts so you don't have to think about any of those parts that you're insecure about. You know, dress in such a way that makes you feel more comfortable. Just make sure you keep it sexy and comfortable at all times. That's really the theme of this video, sexy and comfortable. Okay, next up, I would suggest some grooming and self-care. That doesn't have to be anything kind of traditional. You know, a lot of the women's magazines back in the day might suggest like removing your pubic hair or whatever. I don't give a damn about that. I think body hair is your own personal choice more than anything else. When I think about grooming, I think about just kind of getting in touch with your body and maybe doing some things that make you feel a little sexier. I like to exfoliate my whole body. I like to oil myself up. And I like to take a long, nice shower and make sure I get nice and clean. This helps to center you in your body. Also, to help center you in your body, I think you should stretch. Stretching before sex is so important. You are about to engage in some real physical activities. Maybe take some nudes. I'm a broken record with this one. I'm basically always suggesting that people take nudes, but I do think it's a really good way to get in touch with yourself, get in touch with the way that you look, get comfortable, and also flirt, man. That's some very top-notch foreplay. Send your lover what they're about to get a bite of later on. Next up, I want you to set the scene. If you're at home, think about the lighting, think about maybe if you want to get some incense or some candles going, and please make sure you have so much water on hand. So much. My lover once gave me some water in like a little wine glass. Very cute, aesthetics great. I was very thirsty. It was not good enough. I was like, please more. Dying on the bed. And if it's not at your house, guys, prepare. Pack a hoe bag. I do have a whole video on this if you need to learn how to pack a hoe bag. But basically, think back to all of that thinking you did before, all of those consequences. Make sure you're prepared for any that might arise. That includes, prophylactics for STIs and contraceptive, maybe some lube in case of chafing or soreness, anything like that. All right, now we are on to our third and final section, which is things to say. In terms of things to say, I want you to think about what you need your partner to know, or what you need yourself to know. Just what needs to be known before this situation happens. And then I also want you to think about how you can make it sexy. You need to make sure that you are communicating your needs and establishing boundaries, but there's no reason that needs to be not sexy. It can be very sexy. And also, it can be a great way to kind of get an idea of what you're going to be doing that night. If you wanna set up, I don't want to say a menu, maybe I will say a menu. If you want to set up a little menu. So for example, if you want to communicate your needs, but you want to do it in a sexy way, maybe you're going to say, I need it soft and slow tonight. So then your lover knows, okay, we're intimate, we love it. This is hopefully an experience which is fun and affirming and sexy and just like a good time all around. And it helps to communicate as much as possible, man. You want your partner to know that you are excited to fuck them. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you today. I didn't speak too specifically about it, but hopefully it was obvious and implied that consent is the number one name of the game. Everything that I'm talking about doing here is basically getting to know yourself and getting to know exactly why you're going into a situation. And the reason that we do that is so that we can be 100% honest with ourselves and with anybody else who might be involved in the situation, because that's how consent works. You have to be honest and open about exactly what you're getting into and whether or not the other person is down for that. And that's how you have a good, fun, sexy time. Hey guys, it's me again. If you guys enjoyed this video and if you like any of my other content, then please do join me for my new podcast. Yay! The first episode will be coming out very soon after this video drops, and then hopefully I'm going to get one out every 2 weeks. Podcast is called Sex Talk with Lexi, or Lex Talk. The official name is Sex Talk with Lexi. It's called Lex Talk so that I don't get banned on all of these apps. Thanks Instagram, you're ruining our lives. Come through. I'm going to be talking to different guests about their sexual experiences. I'm going to be talking about what sex means to me. I'm going to be talking about how it can help you, how it can affect your life. I'm going to be talking about all sorts of things. I hope that if you're interested, you can come on this journey with me and we can all learn a little something together and get more in touch with ourselves sexually. I think that it's so stigmatized and so weird in so many ways, and really just we need to be exploring ourselves a little bit more. That's what I think.